Cancer. It's your girl, Jay. The High Priestess. Back at it again with the general tarot reading for Cancer. Sun, Moon, and Rising for Scorpio season 2022. It's feeling like an in the shell season, hun. I'm gonna just go. That may not be for everyone, but for those that it is for, I feel like there's a lot of battles with intimacy, with expressing your feelings, and encountering new desires. We are entering the season of I desire. I'm doing my best to not be fucking sarcastic and not infuse my shit in this reading. Y'all know I do my best to separate my own personal life from these readings because I am a Cancer moon. Be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising. Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/justjeverything. For free content, check out my Instagram at justj_everything, and for TikTok at justjeverything. And for other dope shit that I do, my website, justjeverything.com. I'll go ahead and do what we can to create a safe space for our benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Scorpio season 2022. Fussy is the word. I don't know. That may be a thing. Fussy. Go check out the Scorpio season astrology video. All of the dates of the important transits are in that video, and I'll do my best to do separate videos for the eclipses. I just looked at the dates of the eclipse. The first, God, I have so much fucking work to do. You may be feeling that, like, pressure to perform, pressure to step up or show up or be something, or feeling drained. This is a fixed water, feminine fixed water that we are in. And Scorpio is known for its intensity, but hey, Cancer, we ride. There is victory, forward motion, success, and recognition coming in. So though it may feel heavy, I feel like it's important to do your best to be optimistic, because it's like, let the silt rise to the surface. Like letting, it's like all the pulp in the orange juice, like let it come to the top so that you can scoop it out. I don't like pulp. But so that, you know what I mean? So it's like there's stuff coming from beneath for you to filter through. On October 25th, we have the new moon partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. And so new moons are when we set new intentions, we plant seeds. And these eclipses, this solar eclipse is going to shift what we see ahead of us. So you might as well put your intentions out there. This would be a great time to get really, really specific about what you want going forward. And astrologically, the other thing I'm going to remind you of is November 8th. We have the full moon total lunar eclipse in Taurus. And so lunar eclipses, you know, are really going to impact your relationship to your emotions for the last 6 months and how things have really been going. And are you acquiring the progress that you desire, or have you been cognizant of like the need for progress? There could be other avenues that your attention is needed outside of just like money, Cancer. And for some of you, the other of you is like money or like romance. It's like, this is cuffing season though. We in the thick of it. And so I think, you know, love, romance, togetherness, intimacy, vulnerability, all of those things are going to be coming up. And movement needs to be made. Because metamorphosis is getting ready to initiate in some sort of way. Empty your lungs. Take a deep breath whenever you're ready. Exhale out your nose after you hold it at the top for a bit. As we welcome in the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Scorpio season 2022. The Hermit and the High Priestess reversed. Intimacy issues. With the Chariot at the bottom of the deck, both of your cards coming up, so you showing up strongly, Cancer. And the way you have to show up strongly is by integrating the light and the dark, calling yourself out, really being like cognizant of your patterns, compassionate of the way that your patterns are reflected to you by way of another. But trust and believe with the Chariot on the bottom of the deck, you get victory. If you want movement, you can have movement. There may be somebody else around you with Cancer placements, Virgo placements, Aquarius placements. I feel like you're diving deeper into the subconscious. This lunar eclipse about to really, really hit different. And I feel like you may be in the position, you may come into Scorpio season feeling lonely or wanting to be solitary or wanting to isolate. And I feel like it's important to listen to your body and see if that's needed or if that's a trauma response. Damn, I just called myself out. Like, I just like blacked out as I fuck. Anyway, with the Hermit being the first card out, your internal security system is recalibrating. There's updates that are needed. That's what I'm telling you. You may be tempted to stay in the shell. You may be tempted to isolate. You may be tempted to ignore your hunches, or some of you are getting like forced to dive deeper into your spirituality. There may be somebody that is very spiritual around you that you're unsure of, or makes you nervous, or is making you question a lot of things. But there is something here about navigating the polarity between these two and these two. Because my favorite thing about the Chariot card is the depiction of the light and dark, but also the light and dark in his armor. It's like whenever we do our part to integrate our shadow with our conscious self, and whenever we do our part to not even just integrate, it's like the integration like actually has to be a part of your doing. It has to be a part of your speaking of the words that you say. And so for some of us, there's this awareness that, you know, maybe we're avoidant, or maybe we're anxious, or, you know, hyper independent, or whatever it is. There's some sort of awareness of like how you've been operating, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, how you've been operating, and how it hasn't been like reflective of like what you know about yourself and what you're capable of. And so there is something about like, what are you striving for victory over? And for some of us, there is this like period of I don't want to say isolation. Maybe it's isolation for some, but it could be solitude. This feels like very in the shell, very in your head. it feels like a slowdown so that you're really, really able to like tune in with your star player, that you're able to like tune in with yourself and giving yourself some sort of spiritual update. There could be, you know, traveling, going into, you know, nature, going into, you know, having your own version of Into the Wild, having your own version of a spiritual awakening or new chapters in your spiritual awakening. There also could be deep realizations about the coldness of your mother. Some of you may be like really distancing yourself from a mother, distancing yourself from a previous like betrayal. Okay, because Scorpio is the dark mother. So some of you may be having some deep realizations about your relationship to your mother's upbringing, or your mother's, like how your mother was wronged, or how you were wronged by your mother in some sort of way. There may be residual anger or bitterness or insecurity that this is leading up to in some sort of way. I just realized I have like zero makeup on and I look like I got like no fucking sleep. I just look a mess. Anyway, Seven of Swords reverse at the center of the reading feels like there are some hangups, insecurities, previous betrayals, previous losses, remorses, things that you slept on, things that you've been indecisive about. I feel like you're really shifting your relationship to indecision, shifting your relationship to these like previous aches and pains. There's something about grudges that you've been holding, wounds that you've been letting fester, or that you've been recutting or animating. Some of you may be dealing with like you or your children or people that you know may be actually cutting, like self-mutilation in some sort of way. If you are feeling like tempted in any kind of way, please reach out. There's so many opportunities and like avenues for you to get all the information that you need in regards to maybe how dark something may be or how heavy it feels. Some of you, I feel like, are entering new chapters with these pains, though, and we'll definitely clarify it in the plunge. This is going to be a good one. There may be someone, let me get the rest of them out. Final two cards, final two messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I do feel like there's stuff here with trust versus risk. Your relationship to risk, your relationship to trust. You're like, do you need, I heard this Queen of Wands reverse came out. She was at the bottom of the deck before. Okay, some of you, yeah, I feel like experiencing different energy from someone, or from the feminine. You are experiencing different feminine energy from inside of yourself. Final card, final message, please, for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. These eclipses are really going to be shifting things. And I feel like it has a lot to do with your relationship to your aloneness, your aspirations, your you reaching for your inner light, you reaching for optimism, you choosing positivity, you choosing to turn these like L's into breakthroughs, or turn like the previous pain, like not being motivated by it, because if you're allowing yourself to be guided by pain, you're just going to attract that and multiply it, and you know what I mean? There's just like this never-ending cycle of like letting yourself be fueled by anger. It's time to do something with it. It's time to put it somewhere, because I feel like there's grudges that you've held, or issues with intimacy, or exposing yourself, or showing your feelings, that are keeping you from being authentic in some way, or it's keeping you from being confident in some way. It may be keeping you distant or afraid of someone with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements. I do feel like some of you are also turning away from or distancing yourself from someone with Cancer placements, or someone that has kids but isn't like that good of a mother, or someone that is like a previous spiritual leader. Some of you may be, okay, some of you have religious trauma. Some of us have religious trauma that I think we're just, damn, and in that moment I was like, some of you, and then I was like, damn, probably me too. Some of us have some like religious trauma that I think that we're not like aware of, or like there's like another layer being revealed to us. And I feel like it's just like cutting the first layer of the epidermis off. Like, this may sting when you start to realize this layer, or how this cultural or religious or spiritual trauma. I mean, this could have been like a really fucked up yoga teacher. This could be someone, or a bad priest, or maybe, a high priestess. Maybe you try to dabble in, you fuck with the wrong coven or something like that. Maybe also some of you are longing for that kind of group togetherness in spirituality. And I feel like you're having to have your own personal new spiritual understandings and awakenings this Scorpio season, before I feel like, before progress is made, before you can, it's like you've got your own, some of y'all have like your own calling, you have your own spiritual mantle, you have your own realizations that you're needing to bring to the masses. And this feels like that spiritual part of isolation. When is it, like Jesus went into the desert for 40 days, something like that? And that's what this feels like. There could be going into the desert of like your own heart, going into the desert of your own subconscious, going into the desert of your own spirit. It looks like going from this blue, going from diving deep into the subconscious mind and understanding about how your current subconscious settings are affecting your ability to dream bigger, bitch. How you're supposed to be aspiring for a bit more in some sort of way, and there's some subconscious realizations about like even your own internal glass ceiling, like where, and where and when was that imposed, and going from this very subconscious versus aspirational, ethereal place to a very like fiery, spirited, solar plexus chakra, like willpower kind of place, Cancer. Accessing your water and seeing how it flows with your fire. There could be, fire and water signs, around you. But I feel like with the first card out being the Hermit, it's really important that's Virgo energy. It's really important for you to analyze. And I feel like analyze your hopes, your wishes, your desires, allowing yourself to take some time alone to make sure that your wishes and your aspirations are your wishes and aspirations, that you're allowing yourself to be led by hope and faith. This is a season where I feel like you're really going to start to learn or identify the ways that you choose fear over faith, and how the center of this season is about you breaking those previous habits. It's time for us to learn how to choose faith, babe. Final card, final message. Whew. Thank you, Spirit, for letting this flow, because I'm done. Okay. I think I need a minute. I need a minute. Oh my God, I cannot. Okay. I cannot. Okay, yes I can. Ooh, yes I can. Start being cognizant of the words that you're subconsciously saying. Words are spells, words have power. All right, Cancer. Fuck, man. This access to the subconscious, access to the spirit, access to the willpower is all happening and coming to the surface so that you can establish a new foundation for yourself, so that you can really like enter into a whole new level of greatness, so that you can really like fuck around and find out who you really are and what you're about and what you're capable of. This is like you done fucked around and found out what you're capable of. And there's definitely probably someone with Aries or Scorpio placements, but this is Aries. Someone with Aries or Scorpio placements that is influencing and reminding you like positively of who you are. Aries, the Emperor is Aries, and Aries is the sign of I am. And usually Aries come into your life to remind you of who the fuck you are and what you're like, what are you about to do about it? You know what I mean? Let's get it. And so there is there are new like emotional scaffolding, spiritual scaffolding, shifts in your discipline, your relationship to authority, your relationship to your own success and how you generate it. There's definitely someone with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements that I feel like is leveling up or investing in your life or spending more time, or they're becoming more importance to you in some sort of way. I also feel like there could be these confidence issues that get resolved in regards to a father or a father figure, or even this could even be like a priest. Don't they call him father in the I don't know. Excuse me. Or a coach or professor or a boss. There is an unlocking, it feels like, an unlocking. This was on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to show you because normally this is shit we do in the plunge, but I love you. Because I just need you to know, like, it gets better. I know it gets better. Hey, you ain't got to be stressed out and gonna play music loud. You ain't gotta have no doubt. And I know it gets better. Hey, you ain't gonna make it okay. I don't even know. What do I even say about this? And then I just saw 2227. But I can tell you what. All of the silt, all of the pulp, all of the stuff, all of the gravel, all the shit that we've been repressed and pushing down or whatever, all of it's coming to the surface so that we can get here. And we got to start from the bottom so that we can get here. And when you're here, you know exactly what the fuck to do with this. Brand new cycles in financial wellness, brand new cycles in health, in family, stability, feeling like you have family, feeling like you have closeness, like you have togetherness, a new definition of love, success, fulfillment, wealth, comfortability, integration, victory, triumph, true spiritual protection. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Is that whenever you do your part to integrate the trials and tribulations with the amount of good that you have experienced as well and privilege that you've experienced, you like life starts hit different. You know, life starts to hit real different because that's whenever you face your own shit, that's how you acquire this, you know, multicolored armor. Multi-dimensional armor, and it puts you in this position of peace, puts you in this position of openness and receptivity to create a new kind of stability, a new kind of stability in the mind. There is a new foundation in the realm of your mind that will be established after Scorpio season. Let's get into it. Goodness.
For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.